Welcome back to Pocket Change Coins. Love hidden coin treasures? First, we're revealing coins that could be worth much more than you think. New here? Like, subscribe, and let's dive in. We're going to dive into a coin that is often overlooked but holds incredible value for those who know what to look for, the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter. This particular quarter is part of the famous 50 State Quarters program launched by the United States Mint, and while it may seem like just another coin in your collection, there's so much more to it than meets the eye. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin could be worth $60,000. Let's take a step back and look at the history behind the Connecticut State Quarter. Released in 1999, Connecticut was the fifth state to be honored in this incredible program. This quarter commemorates Connecticut's rich history and its significance in the early development of the United States. The coin's reverse design depicts Pratt's Rock, a famous landmark in the state, along with the inscription, "The Constitution State," a nod to Connecticut's pivotal role in the formation of the U.S. Constitution. The Pratt's Rock engraving is quite striking, as it features a pioneering engraving by Silas Pratt, who, in the 18th century, carved the names of 200 patriots into the rock to honor their fight for independence. This stone still stands in Connecticut, serving as a testament to the state's commitment to freedom and liberty. The quarter's design also includes the words, Connecticut, 1788, the year the state joined the Union, and the word, liberty. This coin is not just a beautiful piece of history, it's also a fascinating symbol of Connecticut's proud heritage. But what makes the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter so valuable? Well, as with all coins, its worth comes down to a few important factors: condition, rarity, and demand. While millions of these quarters were minted, not all of them have survived in perfect condition. And that's where collectors and investors come in. If you find a 1999 Connecticut quarter that is in mint condition, meaning it hasn't been used in circulation and shows no signs of wear, it could already be worth more than its face value. But the true value of this coin skyrockets if it has any minting errors or unique characteristics. Errors on a coin can range from a misaligned die to a double strike, where the design is imprinted more than once on the coin. These errors happen during the minting process, and collectors love them because they make the coin unique and harder to find. For example, a double die error on a Connecticut quarter could make certain parts of the design appear duplicated, making it stand out among other quarters. Similarly, if the coin has an off-center strike, where the design is shifted, that's another error that can drastically increase the coin's value. Minting errors are extremely rare, and because of their scarcity, they are highly sought after by collectors who are looking for something special to add to their collections. The next thing that increases the value of this coin is the condition. Coins that are in uncirculated or proof-like condition are much more valuable than those that have been used in everyday transactions. If you have a coin that looks like it just came out of the mint, you're sitting on a valuable treasure. Coins that are graded MS-70, meaning they're in perfect, flawless condition, are the ones that can command the highest prices. So, how much could your Connecticut State Quarter actually be worth? Well, in perfect, uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error, this coin could be worth a staggering $60,000. That's right, $60,000 for a single quarter. It's hard to believe, but the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter can fetch such an impressive sum in the right circumstances. Now, you might be wondering, how do you know if your quarter is worth this much? First, take a close look at its condition. Is it still shiny and free of scratches? If so, you could already be in luck. Next, check for any minting errors. Take a magnifying glass or loupe and carefully examine the design. Look for any areas that seem off, like doubled or blurry lettering, or a misaligned image. These small imperfections could make a huge difference in value. The best way to determine how much your Connecticut State Quarter is worth is to have it professionally graded. Coin grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can provide an official grade for your coin, which will help you understand its value. A professional grade can make a huge difference, as it ensures your coin is evaluated by an expert who knows exactly how to spot rare errors and determine its condition. the thrill of coin collecting lies in the search for those rare finds, and the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter is a perfect example of how a seemingly common coin can hold incredible value. Whether it's in perfect condition or has a rare minting error, this coin has the potential to make you a small fortune. So, next time you're going through your pocket change, keep your eyes peeled for the Connecticut Quarter. You could be holding onto a valuable treasure. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, knowledge is power. By understanding what makes a coin valuable, you increase your chances of finding something extraordinary. And with a 1999 Connecticut State Quarter, you might just be holding a coin worth $60,000. Second rare coin, we're going to talk about a coin that's often overlooked but can hold immense value, the 2009 Guam State Quarter. You might have seen it in your pocket change or just added it to your collection without thinking twice, but what if I told you that this seemingly simple quarter could be worth $41,000? That's right, $41,000. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin could be hiding a small fortune in plain sight. Now, let's rewind a bit and talk about the 2009 Guam State Quarter and the significance behind it. This coin was part of the Territorial Quarters program released by the U.S. Mint in 2009. While most quarters in the 50-state quarters program represent states, Guam was one of several U.S. territories that was honored with its own quarter in this series. As the largest and most populous island in the Pacific U.S. territories, Guam holds a special place in American history, which is reflected in the unique design of this coin. The design of the Guam quarter features a native Chamorro woman in traditional dress, standing under the shade of a palm tree with a canoe in the background, representing the island's deep-rooted connection to its seafaring and agricultural history. Along with the imagery, you'll also find the inscription, Guam and Island of Liberty, which is a nod to the island's role as a part of the United States. The quarter's design is a celebration of Guam's rich culture, stunning landscapes, and the resilient spirit of its people. Now, you might be wondering why this coin, which was minted in 2009, could be worth so much. After all, it was produced in large quantities, so why does the 2009 Guam State Quarter have such high value? The truth is, the value of any coin depends on a few key factors: condition, rarity, and sometimes even minting errors. Most of these quarters were produced in large numbers and circulated widely, so they're not inherently valuable by themselves. However, there are specific circumstances that can make this coin worth far more than its face value. Condition is perhaps the most important factor when it comes to the value of a coin. If your 2009 Guam State Quarter is in mint condition, meaning it hasn't been used in circulation and shows no signs of wear, then you're already off to a great start. Coins that are well preserved and in uncirculated condition are far more valuable than those that have been tossed around in pocket change. So, if you have one of these quarters that looks as if it was freshly minted yesterday, it's time to pay close attention. It could be worth much more than you think, but wait, there's more. The real value of the 2009 Guam State Quarter comes from rarity. Not all coins are created equal, and sometimes there are minting errors that occur during the production process. These errors can include things like misaligned dies, double strikes, or even missing details in the design. These kinds of flaws are incredibly rare, but when they do happen, they can make a coin even more valuable to collectors. For example, imagine you have a Guam quarter with a double strike, where the design appears twice on the coin. That's an error that would make this coin incredibly unique and, therefore, far more valuable. These types of errors are prized by collectors because they create one-of-a-kind coins that can't be found anywhere else. If you're lucky enough to find a 2009 Guam State Quarter with a minting error, your coin's value could easily rise significantly. Another thing that collectors look for is the mintage number, or the total number of coins produced. The 2009 Guam State Quarter was minted in large numbers, but it was also produced in a limited time frame. With only so many of these coins available, the rarity factor combined with errors or minting imperfections can cause the price of the coin to jump. But here's the exciting part: if your 2009 Guam State Quarter is in perfect condition or features a minting error, this coin could be worth $41,000. Yes, you heard that right, $41,000 for a single quarter. It's incredible to think that such a small, seemingly ordinary coin could carry such immense value, but that's the beauty of coin collecting. A rare coin in excellent condition can make you thousands of dollars, and the Guam quarter is a prime example of this. So, how do you figure out if your Guam quarter is worth a fortune? Start by carefully inspecting the coin. Does it look like it just came out of the mint? Is it shiny and free of scratches or damage? If it's in uncirculated condition, you're off to a great start. Next, look for any minting errors. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the details closely. Look for any areas where the design might be doubled or shifted, or where the image doesn't line up as it should. Even the smallest error can dramatically increase a coin's value. If you're unsure, consider having your coin professionally graded by an expert. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can determine the coin's condition and value, ensuring that you get an accurate assessment. A professionally graded coin will also be more attractive to potential buyers if you ever decide to sell. Coin collecting is an exciting and rewarding hobby, but it's also about the thrill of discovery. The 2009 Guam State Quarter is a great example of how a coin that seems ordinary at first glance can turn out to be extraordinarily valuable. Whether it's in mint condition or contains a rare minting error, this coin could be worth far more than you expected. If you're lucky enough to find a 2009 Guam State Quarter in excellent condition or with a minting error, you could be holding onto a coin worth $41,000. So, next time you're flipping through your pocket change or browsing through a coin shop, be sure to check your Guam quarters closely. You never know what hidden treasures you might find. Third expensive coin, we're going to talk about a coin that might be sitting in your collection right now, or perhaps it's tucked away in your change jar, the 2002 Mississippi State Quarter. This coin is part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008, and though it might seem like just another quarter at first glance, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. By the end of this video, you'll learn why this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth an astonishing $52,000. Let's start with a little history behind the Mississippi State Quarter. Released in 2002, Mississippi was the 20th state to be honored in the 50 State Quarters program. If you're unfamiliar with this program, it was created to celebrate each state's unique history, culture, and contributions to the country. Each quarter in this series was designed to feature a distinctive design on the reverse side that symbolized the state it represented. For Mississippi, the quarter's design features a magnolia flower, which is the state flower of Mississippi. Alongside the magnolia, the design also showcases the state outline and the famous Mississippi River, which holds immense historical and economic significance for the state. The imagery of the magnolia flower and the river represent Mississippi's natural beauty and the role that its environment has played in shaping the state's identity. Mississippi's historical connection to the Mississippi River is significant. It was one of the most important waterways for trade and transportation during the early years of the United States. The river helped establish Mississippi as a key player in agriculture, particularly cotton, and played a critical role in the Civil War. The magnolia, on the other hand, symbolizes the state's lush landscapes and natural resources, making the coin not just a piece of currency, but also a piece of Mississippi's identity. Now, you might be wondering what makes this quarter so valuable. After all, it was minted in large numbers, just like all the other state quarters. Well, here's the deal. The 2002 Mississippi State Quarter is valuable primarily because of its condition and any potential minting errors. Most of these quarters were released into circulation and saw heavy use over the years, meaning they likely show signs of wear and tear. But here's the exciting part: if you happen to find one of these quarters that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth significantly more than its face value. Coins that have been in circulation often get scratched, scuffed, or tarnished, which makes them less valuable. However, coins that have been well preserved, such as those that have been stored properly, without exposure to the elements or heavy handling, can command a premium. The 2002 Mississippi State Quarter in mint condition is much rarer than one that has been circulating for years, which is why collectors are willing to pay big money for one that looks like it just came out of the U.S. Mint. But that's not all. Another factor that can significantly increase the value of this coin is minting errors. If your Mississippi quarter has any unique imperfections, such as a misaligned die, double strike, or off-center strike, it could be worth much more. Minting errors are rare, and they are highly prized by collectors because they make the coin a unique piece of history. Imagine holding a quarter that has an error where the design is doubled or misprinted. That would be a collector's dream, and the value would soar. In addition to minting errors, the mintage number of a coin can play a big role in its value. The 2002 Mississippi State Quarter was minted in large quantities, but the key to its worth lies in the rarity of high-quality, error-free examples. As fewer and fewer of these coins remain in excellent condition, their value continues to rise. This makes the 2002 Mississippi State Quarter an attractive find for collectors who are on the hunt for coins that are both historically significant and valuable. So, how much could your 2002 Mississippi Quarter be worth? Well, if your coin is in pristine, uncirculated condition or has an error, it could be worth much more than you thought. Some of these coins, in exceptional condition or with rare minting flaws, have been known to sell for as much as $52,000. That's right, a quarter that was originally worth just 25 cents could now be worth $52,000. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do I know if I have one of these rare coins? The first thing to do is carefully inspect your 2002 Mississippi State Quarter for any signs of wear or damage. Does it look as if it has been in circulation for a while, or is it still shiny and flawless? If it's in uncirculated condition, then you're already on the right track. Next, check for any minting errors. These errors are often tiny, so you'll need to look closely. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine the coin's design. Look for misprints, doubled letters, or displaced designs. Even a small flaw can increase the coin's value dramatically. If you find something unusual, you might just be holding onto a small fortune. If you're unsure about the coin's condition or whether it has a minting error, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can accurately assess the condition of the coin and help determine its value. Once graded, your coin will be certified, and you'll have a better understanding of what it's worth in the market. The world of coin collecting is exciting because of its endless possibilities. You never know when you'll stumble upon a coin like the 2002 Mississippi State Quarter that could be worth far more than what it seems. Whether it's in mint condition or has an exciting minting error, this coin could be a valuable addition to your collection. So, keep an eye out for your Mississippi State Quarters, and who knows, you could be holding a coin worth $52,000. Now, we're diving into one of the more fascinating state quarters that might be hiding in your collection, the 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter. At first glance, it might seem like just another coin in the 50 State Quarters program, but trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. In fact, this Oklahoma State Quarter could be worth a lot more than its 25-cent face value. Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll learn how this quarter could fetch you an incredible $30,000. Let's take a trip back in time to 2008, when the Oklahoma State Quarter was released as part of the final year of the 50 State Quarters program. If you're unfamiliar with this program, it was a series launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999 to honor each of the 50 states with its own unique quarter. The Oklahoma Quarter was the 46th coin in the series, and its design carries deep significance, representing both the state's rich history and its distinctive identity. The design of the 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter features a scenic representation of the state's industries and natural beauty. At the center of the coin, you'll find a sculpture of a Native American man on horseback, symbolizing the state's deep connection to Native American culture and heritage. This man, dressed in traditional attire and holding a bow, represents the Indian Territory that was once part of Oklahoma before it became a state. Surrounding the figure are the twin spires of the Oklahoma State Capitol, and in the background, you can see an outline of the buffalo, a symbol of the state's wild heritage and agricultural roots. To top it all off, the coin also includes the state motto, Labor Omnia Vincit, which translates to Labor Conquers All Things. This powerful design reflects Oklahoma's history, from its Native American roots to its agricultural and industrial development. But while the design is undeniably meaningful, what really sets this coin apart in the world of coin collecting is its rarity, condition, and the potential for minting errors. Now, let's talk about why this coin could be worth so much money. When it comes to the value of a coin, several factors come into play. the first factor to consider is the condition of the coin. Just like with any collectible item, a coin in mint or uncirculated condition is always worth more than one that has been in circulation for years. A quarter that shows little to no signs of wear, with sharp details and vibrant colors, is much rarer than a coin that has been tossed around in someone's pocket for years. So, if you find your 2008 Oklahoma State quarter looking as pristine as the day it was minted, you've definitely got something special on your hands, but there's more to it than just condition. The rarity of this coin also plays a huge role in its value. The U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters, but over time, as these coins have circulated, many have become damaged, worn down, or otherwise degraded. This means that high-quality examples are relatively rare. A coin that has been well preserved is always going to be worth more than one that has gone through the hands of thousands of people over the years. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins in excellent condition, and when one does surface, the price can jump significantly. Another factor that makes the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter especially valuable is the possibility of minting errors. Sometimes, during the coin minting process, things don't go quite as planned. Minting errors can include misaligned dies, double strikes, off-center impressions, or even missing elements from the design. These errors make the coin one of a kind and much more attractive to collectors. Coins with minting errors are always in high demand, and they can fetch a premium price, sometimes far beyond what anyone might expect. For example, if you happen to find a 2008 Oklahoma State quarter with a double strike where the design appears twice, or perhaps an off-center strike, you could be holding a coin worth much more than the regular issue. Minting errors can make a coin highly collectible, and this is where the real money comes in. Even minor imperfections in the minting process can turn a typical quarter into a highly sought-after treasure. Now, I know you're probably thinking, how much could this coin actually be worth? Well, depending on the condition and any potential minting errors, the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter could be worth a surprising $30,000. Yes, you heard me right, $30,000. For a single quarter. It might seem unbelievable, but rare coins in excellent condition, or with minting flaws, can skyrocket in value, and the Oklahoma State quarter is one of those coins that has captured the attention of collectors. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable Oklahoma quarter? The first step is to inspect it carefully. Look at the coin under a magnifying glass and examine the design details. Does it look like it has been used, or does it appear fresh and uncirculated? If it's in mint condition, then you're off to a great start. Next, check for any minting errors. Again, a magnifying glass is your best friend here. Pay attention to the alignment of the design, check if the lettering is doubled, and inspect the overall details closely. Even a small error can make the coin more valuable. If you're unsure about the condition or potential errors, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can evaluate the coin's condition, certify its authenticity, and give you an accurate idea of its market value. Once graded, your Oklahoma State quarter will be ready for the collector's market, and you'll know exactly how much it's worth. In conclusion, the 2008 Oklahoma State quarter may seem like just another coin, but when you take into account its design, its historical significance, its condition, and the possibility of minting errors, it's easy to see how this coin could be worth a small fortune. So, check your quarters, and if you happen to find one that's in pristine condition or features a rare minting error, you could be holding onto a coin worth $30,000. Last unique coin, we're talking about the 2017 Frederick Douglass National Historic Site quarter, part of the U.S. Mint's America the Beautiful Quarters program. You might have come across one of these in your pocket change or found one tucked away in your collection, but do you know just how valuable this quarter could be? Stick around to find out just how much this coin is worth, and you might be sitting on a small fortune. Released in 2017, this quarter honors the legacy of Frederick Douglass, a key figure in American history, best known for his courageous fight against slavery and his role in the abolitionist movement. Douglass was born into slavery in 1818 but escaped to freedom, becoming one of the most powerful voices for liberty and equality in the 19th century. His work as an orator, writer, and statesman helped shape the nation and its ideals of freedom, justice, and human rights. The Frederick Douglass quarter is part of a series of coins celebrating historic sites across the United States, each highlighting a different piece of the nation's rich history. This particular quarter features an image of Frederick Douglass himself along with his home in Washington, D.C., which became a center for political action and discussion during his later years. His home was a place where important conversations about race, equality, and human rights took place, and it continues to stand as a monument to his life and work. On the reverse of the quarter, you'll see Douglass's likeness in profile, alongside an image of his Washington, D.C. home. The design also includes the inscription, Frederick Douglass National Historic Site, and the year, 2017, marking the year of the coin's release. It's an incredible tribute to a man who dedicated his life to fighting for the rights and freedom of all people, and it's a powerful piece of history captured in a simple coin. Now, let's talk about why this coin has become so valuable. Like many coins in the America the Beautiful series, the Frederick Douglass quarter was released in large quantities, but not all of them are equally valuable. What makes this coin particularly interesting to collectors is its rarity and pristine condition. Most of the quarters that are circulated tend to show signs of wear and age. However, if you happen to come across one in near-perfect condition, or even better, one that has been graded as uncirculated, it could be worth much more than you think. Grading plays a huge role in the value of a coin. Coins that have been preserved in excellent condition, free from scratches, nicks, or discoloration, are significantly more valuable to collectors than those that have been in heavy circulation. If you happen to have a 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter that looks as if it just came from the mint, you might be holding a rare treasure. Coins in perfect condition are always sought after by collectors, as they represent a snapshot of history untouched by time, but that's not all. Some minting errors can also add significant value to a coin. During the minting process, things can sometimes go awry, resulting in misprints, misalignments, or striking errors. These errors make the coin unique, and collectors are often willing to pay a premium for a coin that has something special about it. For example, a double-struck coin or one with a misaligned die can fetch a much higher price than a regular coin. So, if you've come across a 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter that has any of these minting defects, you may be holding something worth even more than a perfectly minted coin. Now, you might be wondering, how much could this coin actually be worth? Well, the value of the 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter can vary depending on its condition and rarity. If you happen to have one in uncirculated condition, it could easily be worth $16,000. That's right, $16,000 for a single quarter. It's amazing to think that a coin, which originally held a value of just 25 cents, could now fetch such a significant amount. The key to unlocking this potential value lies in carefully inspecting the coin. Look for any imperfections that could be considered minting errors, and check the condition of the coin. Is it shiny and free from wear? Is the design still sharp and clear? These are the kinds of things that collectors look for, and they can make a huge difference in the value of the coin. For those of you who might be lucky enough to have one of these rare and valuable Frederick Douglass quarters, it's a good idea to have the coin professionally graded. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can provide an official assessment of the coin's condition, and a high-grade coin can often be sold for a higher price than one that hasn't been graded. In conclusion, the 2017 Frederick Douglass National Historic Site quarter may seem like just another coin, but it holds incredible historical significance and the potential for a very high value, especially if it's in excellent condition or has a minting error. If you've got one of these coins sitting in your collection, or if you find one in your pocket change, make sure to take a closer look. Who knows? It could be worth $16,000. If you enjoyed learning about this coin and its potential value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on more exciting coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!